well. Just getting my day started. I'm running a little bit behind today, but I did want to talk to y'all about something I read this morning, which I thought was really stupid because I think it'll end badly for the person making the threats. So, as you know, we have a lot of immigrants here, most of whom are people who, like my Uber drivers, they just want to have their kids in a safe country, open a bakery, the American dream kind of thing. And then you have the anuses who are running around causing crimes and doing crap things to people. So last night or day before yesterday, I can't remember, sometime the weekend, a Venezuelan immigrant who is apparently a known gang member in his country. Hey guys, what's going on? Good morning. A known gang member in his country gets in a fight with, I don't know who. He shoves an NYPD. Hey, Coffee. Hey, Gene. I think Joe snuck in there. I couldn't tell. And he winds up popping off rounds. Ooh, that was cool. What's this? Oil change coupon bonus. Oh, same. I was looking down and I got the pothole. Hey, Nunya. Good morning. So anyway, he gets arrested, but during the altercation with whoever the hell he was fighting with, he actually fired off some rounds. This is a 15, 16-year-old immigrant. Hey, Wolfang fires off and hits some random-ass lady who was shopping. So anyway, the cops are pissed. The citizens are pissed. So everyone goes after this kid, and they finally get him. Not a couple of days later, his mom's freaking out because, oh, my baby. I'm like, your baby's a piece of shit. I'd be sad if my kid did that, but I'd be pissed at him too. If you let him go, I'm going to kick his ass. Hey, Scott. Hey, All-American. What's going on? So, long story short, another Venezuelan immigrant who apparently has a big following. I don't know on what platform. I don't know if it's TikTok or YouTube or Insta. Probably TikTok, I would guess. Basically has called on all migrants from their country. I think it's Venezuela. I may be wrong. They're not Cuban. I know that. To support him. So once again, we're hearing this echo of we need to rise up, which is the same thing that happened in after the Palestinian Hamas issue with Israel. Everybody's like from the river to the sea, and there was a bunch of protests. But this guy, those folks, at least they were upset because civilians were being killed, right? Babies and whatnot. And granted, Hamas started it, but it's an old rivalry between these countries, have been back and forth fighting for a millennia. So, hey, Marco, what's going on? But this call to support this kid who is 15, 16 years old, got an illegally obtained firearm, which was stolen. It was reported stolen, got his hands on it, then proceeded to get in fights. Then, hey, Pilgrim, hey, Scott again, started firing randomly in a crowd after a fist fight and shot a random woman. Fortunately, she survived. It wasn't a terrible injury. He hit her in the leg, which might have been good because it dropped her and the other bullets went over her. So they're calling for supporting this kid. So it's not like, hey, we don't like war. Innocent people are dying. We want the war to stop. It's let's support a criminal who broke the law and hurt an innocent person. And I say bullshit to that. Most of us come from somewhere else. Like if you go far enough back, unless you're one of the native tribes who also came from somewhere else at some point in humanity. Humans move around. I get that. But you came to a new country, broke every conceivable law I could think of, hurt an innocent human being, almost hurt 5 others, and got thrown in jail. And now they're calling for some kind of support. But the wording was very uprising-ish. but it didn't say it in so many words. I'm sorry, that's going to be a really bad idea for a lot of reasons, and I'll specify. Well, my family came from the island, which was a commonwealth of U.S. anyway, so they were citizens, but you know, the Puerto Ricans moved to the U.S., most of them tried to work, but you had that percentage who were assholes. And yeah, I saw that, Watchmen, a percentage who were assholes, and it made everyone look bad. Calling for that will cause, one, it's going to cause problems, because if you start attacking random ass people, there's going to be blowback from the various other ethnic groups in the country. Two, you've just made all the immigrants a target. Now people who are here trying to do the right thing, right? They just want their kids to go to a safe school. They fled whatever the hell garbage in Venezuela. And Venezuela is a shit show right now. And I have no doubt most of the people, the families here, are trying to get away from that. Now they've got a bullseye, because now people are going to be suspicious of them. So not only are you going to increase prejudice by calling on some kind of uprising or supporting of a criminal, if you were worth a shit as a creator, you would say, that little asshole doesn't represent the rest of us. He did the wrong thing. And maybe not put him in jail for 20 years, but rehabilitate his ass, put him away and let him learn. Don't call for him to be released. Bullshit. Now what you do is you make a portion of the Hispanic community who are immigrants look bad. And this is my opinion as the descendant of immigrants who are Hispanic, who are Latino, whatever freaking word you want to use. That guy should have called this kid out and said, this is not the way we behave here. This does not represent our community. I feel compassion for the kid. I asked the judge that the judge, you know, consider his background, whatever, bad childhood. But don't use this as an excuse to call up a bunch of folks, many of whom shouldn't be here anyway, to cause a bunch of shit. Because what it's going to do, and I've seen it before, I saw it in the 70s and 80s, it's going to create a blowback for that particular ethnic group. And it's going to make them look bad. It happened to the Vietnamese, it happened to the Puerto Ricans, the Italians, the Irish. New groups come in over the years, and you have that percentage who are shits. Hey, good morning, Macabus. This is not what they should be doing. And again, as someone who, like all of us, came from somewhere else, that pisses me off. Yeah, so to Watchman's point, I don't know much about the airmen. I saw that this morning. The individual chose to immolate himself. Now, I don't know if it's actually an airman, if it's a legit veteran, or just a guy who claimed to be an airman and bought a uniform, which you can get on eBay. The frustration of a lot of veterans who feel they were used by the military-industrial congressional complex is palpable in a lot of circles. This individual, though, I don't know if he seemed younger. I don't know his age, so I don't know if he wound up in the sandbox, you know, if he rolled in OIF or Afghanistan. I don't know the background of that individual, and that's sad. That speaks to, well, then that goes back to the immigration thing in my mind, is why are we giving $10,000 cards to folks who shouldn't be here in New York City, but we have veterans who are suffering either from physical, mental, or financial issues, and we're not fucking supporting them, okay? And this to me is personal as a guy who served, and I didn't do anything super exciting. I was a guardsman, but my sons have rolled downrange. My dad was a veteran. His brothers were. We've served in every conflict since the Kaiser in World War I until Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. And we've seen cousins and brothers and sisters come back really tweaky from what they went through. We're giving money to Ukraine, we're giving money to all these other countries, and we're not taking care of our own. And personally, and don't take this as racist, it's going to disproportionately affect blue collar working Americans. And of the different ethnic groups, hourly wage workers are a very large percentage of the Hispanic and Black communities, which are going to get absolutely hurt. And of course, the millions of white folks and other ethnicities who are out there trying to make a living, and you've just put a burden on all of them. And to me, it just pisses me off. So yeah, so the guy who wound up immolating himself, that's unfortunate. I don't know all the details, it's just sad. But in general, folks, we have a problem. We have a lot of folks who have come here, and granted, they have the right to protest, they have the right to support. But even though I'm not a fan of Hamas, I'm not a fan of Netanyahu either, even though I have a lot of friends who are Israelis, so Israel's very personal to me. But I'm not a fan of Netanyahu. I think he's kind of a tool, and I don't like Hamas. So, you know, two sets of assholes equals a war. But I understand the folks who are saying, stop the war in Gaza because innocents are getting killed. Okay, I can understand that. Not all of them. Some of them are just being ugly. But looking at this influencer who has 100,000 something followers, hey Hudson, calling on other illegal immigrants to rise up because they arrested a felon who shot someone after getting his ass beat in a fist fight. He started a fight, took a bunch of punches, pulled out a gun, missed the guy who punched him, and shot a lady and got thrown in jail at 15. This kid's a piece of shit. For perspective, just to give you guys some context, y'all have seen Scarface, right? You remember the movie Scarface. Say hello to my little friends. So the beginning of the movie, and another creator pointed this out as well. The beginning of the movie, they mentioned the Muriel boat lift, and that's when Castro said, oh, I'm going to open the docks and you can pick up your families, and then he emptied his prisons. The Cuban immigration during the 70s, during the Muriel boat lift, they called it, I think I'm saying that right, that only numbered 200,000 total Cubans during that time. We get 200,000 in a quarter coming through Texas right now, from everywhere. And yeah, Chick-fil-A behind me because I'm breakfast guy this morning. That should concern the hell out of everyone. And we have families who have come here legally. I have a buddy who he came from Mexico, decided, he got his green card. He's like, I want to serve my new country. Wound up in Iraq. Came back, still took him 2 years to get all his shit together to be a full-blown citizen. And he followed the process. Most Mexicans, actually, if they're not a felon, can come here and be a U.S. citizen. Like, it's not hard for them. It just takes time. But you're fast-tracking people. You have people who have no basis in the country are now in election committees in California. China's playing the long game, folks. They know, wow, California's 35 electoral votes. They know how our system works, and they're like, let's turn it into a communist regime. They started this back in the 70s, y'all. This is a 40-year, 50-year plan because that's how they think there. They don't think next election cycle. Americans are ADD. We're like, oh, the next election cycle. No. The communist Chinese are looking 50 years out. They're playing chess, so are the Russians, sadly, and we're playing checkers. But for this guy, this influencer, going back to my original topic, to call for people to support a 15-year-old who committed a felony and who beat up got his ass beat and then shot the wrong person, that's bullshit. That person, he's going to do two things. One, he's going to cause civil unrest, which is just going to hurt the community. Two, in doing that, he's going to make all the Venezuelans who are here legitimately, who truly want to have a good life and they're trying their best to do the right things, now they got a target on their back because now everyone's going to be like, oh, those Venezuelans, they shoot people and commit crimes. So he hurt the community. He didn't help it. His ass should have come up and say, this is not what we do. we can support him legally and make sure he's fairly represented. But Joe, what did Joe say? He's being a shit. Is Joe in here? 50 years China will have overtaken us. Yeah, absolutely, Joe. 100%. No, Joe hangs out with the Mexican, used to hang out with all the Mexicans and Spanish folks, so he understands enough Spanish to probably get all of us thrown out of a restaurant if we're not careful. But yeah, folks, what this guy, that's just a bad idea. It's going to hurt the community, the immigrant community who are trying to do the right thing. And it's going to encourage more lawlessness. And I think that creator is an asshole. If that's his take, that's his angle, he's a shithead. It's not like he's saying, oh, protect innocent babies. No, there was no innocent baby. It was one 16-year-old shit who broke the law and hurt someone. If it was any one of us in the chat, including me, whether you're white, black, Latino, Asian, Filipino, whatever you are, I promise you our asses would be in jail. But no, they let the guys who hit those NYPD guys go. We had to catch them in Texas and Arizona. And Arizona won't send them back. New York's like, oh, extradite that guy back. Arizona said, no, you're not going to do your job. So they're going to prosecute him in Arizona. He's going to serve in Arizona. And then when he's done with his jail time here, then New York can get him. And the DA in the county, with the blessings of the Democrat governor, said, no, we're not giving it back to New York. You're not enforcing the law. And it's hurting the border states. So we're going to enforce the law. Good for both of them. That's their frickin' job, regardless of their party. So, apartment combo, or the next thing. Watchmen, it's already started in Houston. It's already started. So, Hudson needs to come down here. We need a good contractors down here, like people who actually build good structures. I swear some of the new stuff I'm seeing going up is like the Chinese construction with the cities that fall apart. Joe, probably, but they're real people on the street causing problems, and that sucks, because other folks like you and I, we're just trying to get by, you know? But anyway, folks, I did not see NYC's getting out, but good for him. If he can find a safe and good place for him, hell yeah. Anyway, guys, be good, be safe. I'm breakfast, guys, so I got to go get the breakfast. I just wanted to share my thoughts on that, because I think that dude, if he doesn't do things right, he's going to hurt the Venezuelan immigrant community. And I know a lot of them, and they are freaking awesome people. And so that guy can kiss my ass. But anyway, that's me. Hey, Elora, sorry I didn't see you there. You guys be good, be safe. Pay attention. It's just a lot of shit, weird shit going on. And keep out of trouble. I'll see y'all later.